Hey everyone, so I have been really wanting to do a unpopular K-pop opinions video because I have a lot of those and I've just been obsessed with watching them recently. So I'm trying a new format, not showing my face and instead just having, like pictures and my voiceover, because this is like the usual format that people are using for these videos. So, let's jump into this big mug of lukewarm tea. So my first opinion is that YG Entertainment as a whole, not so much YG, but YG Entertainment, is slowly leading towards not really being a big three agency anymore. Keyword being slowly, I don't think it's going to happen overnight or even within the next few years, but I think in the long run, YG is going to be the first, probably the only of the big three companies that's not going to remain in the big three because of YG himself. He so clearly does not care about the majority of his artists who aren't Big Bang. I don't think that that the company itself is going to be able, the agency itself will be able to sustain itself much longer and remain as powerful and successful as it used to be back in the day. My second unpopular opinion is a Blackpink related one. I'm going to try and get a lot of my YG ones out of the way first, which is that there was absolutely no reason ever for Blackpink to have taken 1 year, basically, where they released nothing but one single and one cover of a song, nor was there any reason for them to take 2 years after their debut in order for a mini album with only 4 songs to be released. One of which, Forever Young, can literally be traced back to 2015, a year before Blackpink even debuted. So that BS that YG was spewing of he's just trying to make sure all these songs are right, he's trying to make sure that, everything is as great as it can be. I mean, one of these songs has already been produced for 3 years now. It had already been made for 3 years now. It literally was heard in 2015 at the YG headquarters. So what are you talking about, YG? Literally, what are you talking about? I think literally the only thing that maybe took this whole 2 years was the title track, because Forever Young was already made in 2015. Really is good, but See You Later, I'll get into that later. My third opinion, controversial, but most of To Anyone songs, in my opinion, did not age that well, and the only one that's even still really enjoyable or I can really listen to is Fire. My fourth K-pop opinion is that CL is kind of super cringy, but I do still feel bad for her in the situation that she's in. Number 5 is that Blackpink is not at all in the top 3 girl groups right now, and the only people who think that are international K-pop fans, but on top of that I feel newer international K-pop fans, because one, I don't think that they have enough of a discography to justify being in the top 3. They have a combined total of less than 10 songs after 2 years of debuting, which isn't their fault, but it just is what it is. Plus, I don't think that they're as popular in South Korea as they are internationally. So these K-pop fans, I think MAMAMOO and G-Friend hold much more popularity over there. Number 6, which I almost talked about in number 2, but number 6 is just that See You Later is such a subpar song, which I think I could even call it Blackpink's worst song, which only further goes to justify number 2, which is why in the hell did Blackpink's mini album with literally 4 songs, I will never get over this, take basically 2 years to make, when one of the songs was already released before. The title track is okay, and then See You Later is literally subpar. For number 7, I'll get away from YG hate and just go on to my girls, Red Velvet, which is that Rookie is the best title track that they've had right after Red Flavor. Anyone who says otherwise is just wrong, okay? People, please stop hating on Rookie. Thank you. Okay. 8 is that I personally liked Happiness as a debut song, and I thought that it doesn't, I don't think it in general deserves to get the immense hate that it gets, and sadly, Happiness was just never going to be a success, simply because Red Velvet was never gonna like have a good debut, if that makes any sense, because the public was just, at the time, with everything that was going on, like with SM and like the shady stuff that was happening, it, like Red Velvet were never gonna be well received. And Happiness gets so much flack, but I really don't think it's that bad. For number 9, I just want to say that I don't think there needs to be a separation from the artist and like the artistry, like the, you know, the talent or the music, whatever you want to call it. Like, and I also don't think that the K-pop community has been too sensitive lately, because I've seen a lot of unpopular opinions say that like people just get offended over everything. But no, like, it's 2018. Korea has the fastest internet in the world, and like, these K-pop idols are purposely being ignorant. They're not, like, it's by choice at this point, you know? Because we're at a point in the whole world where the sphere is just going towards more politically correct, and I'm pretty sure that South Korea can see that. And obviously I don't expect older generations to be like with it, but the younger generations, which include idols, should like not be ignorant, like, if that makes sense. Like, if they're being ignorant, it's because they choose to. It's because they choose to not inform themselves. So I don't think that the K-pop community has been too sensitive. I just think that, just like with anything, a change is coming and it's for the best. For number 10, it's because of that previously mentioned opinion, as well as just my personal preference of music that I'm literally never gonna stan. Big Bang or EXO, or MOMOLAND or MAMAMOO. Like, those 4 groups, I will never stand them. For number 11, I also just want to say, likewise, that just because you have a favorite group or a bias or whatever does not mean that you need to stay silent or defend them when they do some problematic stuff. I mean, like, trust me, I stan BTS and almost every member, especially, you know, Namjoon, because everyone loves to say but Namjoon, which, like, drop it please. It's 2018, you can stop that. I stan BTS, so I understand standing people who have done problematic things in the past and then apologized for it and educated themselves. But like, even I can say that like my bias is Hobby, and I was absolutely mortified and disgusted at the hat that he wore during like the recent mic drop like performances during their Love Yourself Her comeback. I did not support that hat at all whatsoever. I was like praying for him to, like, someone to tell him like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. And on that note, I just want to say, I think that BTS are the only K-pop group who has done some problematic stuff. And I'm talking problematic because I'm talking like Namjoon using the F, like the F word, using the N word, talking about Yoongi's little ugly dread hat, whatever hats with braids that he had going on. I'm talking about Joon's everything from like 2013 to 2014. Okay? But that being said, I think they're the only K-pop group that has actually sat down and apologized sincerely and then educated themselves on the topic, and specifically Namjoon. Number 13, GOT7 and Monsta X and 17 are groups that I really tried to get into, specifically Monsta X, and I wish I could, but I can't. However, I do think Monsta X's personality and like their group dynamic is so fun, so I wish I could love them, but I just don't. Western recognition is not important, like, at all. You know, the K in K-pop does stand for Korean, so while it is nice that like some groups, like my ultimate group BTS, is like getting recognized in the West a little bit by all these people, like, I could care less about it, and it means absolutely nothing to me. Also, no company is safe from criticism. Like, people love to say, oh, this company is the best, or this entertainment agency is, you know, better than the others. But like, they're all the same at the end of the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I personally love Big Hit and JYP the most. But that being said, JYP still 100% overworks his obviously favorite group. And Big Hit is constantly doing things that piss me off. Like, their lack of promotion sometimes really angers me, as well as the fact, like, I don't know if this is just me, but like, I hate that they release info for like DVDs and CDs, like new comebacks, like literally a day or two before the pre-order starts. And I'm like, oh, well, great. Like, let me just get my money, you know, let me get my affairs in order real quick. Like, okay. Speaking of JYP, I think that he's probably one of the best producers in K-pop. In my opinion, because he has made really just straight up hits. I'm talking like Very Very, Tell Me, Nobody, Bad Girl, Good Girl, Irony, So Hot, I Feel You, 10 out of 10, And then my last opinion is one that I didn't even think I'd need to make into an opinion, but I have just seen so many people talk about this in their unpopular K-pop opinions, and I felt like it needed to be said, which is that BTS's Love Yourself Tear is one of their best releases of all time, and it's high up there in terms of albums. It almost dethrones Dark and Wild. It depends on my mood whether or not it dethrones Dark and Wild. However, I can agree that Fake Love and DNA have been two of their weaker title tracks, but especially after the masterpiece that was Spring Day. So I really hope that with this new comeback, they can release a stronger title track than the past two that we've gotten. But yeah, this is gonna be it for my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this I Got Repeat lukewarm tea. It was nothing too hot, nothing piping. But yeah, bye.